All right, guys, we got a new toy, 2021 XMR Renegade 1000. Going to tell you the things I noticed that are different than the 2016 Renegade XMR 1000 I had, and also show you how the new front diff works. So I went to the dealership to buy another Talon, or maybe I was also kind of thinking about getting a YXZ. I saw this and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Front diff lock. So the front diff looks similar to the old one, right? It looks similar to my diff, but it does have an extra little module down here. See this little guy? And I believe that this has something to do with the locker. I have no idea how it works, but I will figure it out. So first things first, the reason I bought it, let's show you how that works. So turn the key on. It's obviously got this stupid little thing. You gotta tap the button to wake it up. So right now, in true Visco-like fashion, well, it's in two-wheel drive, so just spinning the front wheels. So let's put it in four-wheel drive. That locks in inside the transmission. So now we're in four, and there's a little bit of limited slip, but as you can see, tires spinning opposite directions. That's what you call, you know, really poor limited slip. It's a brand new machine. It's still breaking in, so it's got a decent amount of limited slip. Now, allegedly, when we press this button, hold this up, that turns red. That little lock appears. By the way, I didn't get a full tank of gas in this thing. And now it's supposed to be locked. And it appears it's locked. Oh, that's excellent. So Can-Am has given us selectable diff lock. Didn't even know it existed today. I heard it was coming. I didn't know it was already out in the 2021s. And then they had one and I saw it. And long story short, good sales when I took it home. So other differences between the one I had and this one. The front arms are arched a little bit, which is cute. And they're a little bit longer. They say the axles are a little bit longer, a little more travel. They look about the same to me. Springs, front springs look about the same. Fox, they're adjustable. Right now they're set on medium. My other ones were more adjustable. These only have 3-position adjustment. My other ones had a lot more adjustment on them. Just now realized that. But nice dual rate springs in the back. That's a pretty nice looking dual rate. I can tell you just from riding around, it does feel a little stiff, but we'll see. Apparently there's a recall related to the back diff. Shocker. Can-Am can't figure out rear differentials to save their lives. I'll have to do some research on that. I'm going to go ahead and put all the shocks on number 1 though, because they're a little stiff. Might need to take some preload out of them too. So shocks are a little different, a little less premium. Brakes are only on one side. My other Renegade had brake calipers on both sides. This just has the one. I find that annoying. Obviously it's got a spool in the back, so it doesn't matter a whole lot, but these things already go through brake pads, so having one caliper doing the work of 2 calipers means you're going to go through more brake pads, presumably. Also, it doesn't have a regular front brake. It's got combined braking, just like the cheap Can-Ams. So the brake pedal and that do the same thing. The only reason you really need the rear brake pedal, I guess, is for, you know, when you're on a wheelie, just do the rear brakes. But I think it's just, this is rear and this is front and rear. At least I believe that's how it works. I haven't completely figured it out yet. Can-Am added a front sway bar just to make it more complicated, because it's not complicated enough, obviously. That's interesting. A little sway bar link there. Seems to be implemented well. It's a little tiny sway bar. I don't see it doing a whole lot. Radiator is just as exposed and stupid as always. The winch is a 3,500 pound now instead of the 2,500 mine had on it, or the 3,000 whatever. Cryptids instead of the silverbacks, which I think they're probably better than the silverbacks, but whatever. Factory bead locks, which I had before, but these are black. Obviously the color is yellow. The snorkels are up in here. The vent lines are probably in the same spot. I'm going to have to pull the pod off and run the vent lines up longer. They gave you this strap on here for doing mudding, I think, but it blocks your screen, which is stupid. Everything else is pretty similar. Obviously my other one was a piece of shit and I hated it, and I think they're the worst machine in the world to work on. You can see from the dealership the plastics are not even installed right. See, that's not, none of that's right. So that just tells you how hard the plastics are to get on. The dealership didn't put them on right. Yeah, those are all wrong. God, yeah, that's not even snapped in. No surprise there. Their plastics are just real stupid. So I'm gonna fix that real quick. But I hated working on my other one, and you know, this is pretty much the same machine. But when it did work, it was a ton of fun. I like the hydroplaning. I like putting on my big paddle tires and skimming. And it's just, you know, the power is fun, and it's fun to have that much power. Something this compact is very heavy, and it is top heavy, and it doesn't have a whole lot of ground clearance compared to the Rubicon, and yada yada yada. The list goes on and on. But you know, I wanted to test out this new front diff lock, because anything with a front diff lock, I see a front diff lock and I buy it. That's just how my brain works. So that's cool. Let me show you how small these tires are though. So these are the factory, they call them 30s. And I've read from several sources that if you buy a 30 cryptid, it's actually taller than the ones that the Can-Ams come with. Yeah, those are like 28 1/4. So they come with very tiny tires on them. I think they will look great. It will look great with once I clean these wheels. 33 Aztecs and 18-inch bead locks. Some trimming required. I'm going to keep it much as a plastic as possible though. I didn't like how dirty I got on my other one. I might lower the preload some. But yeah, so get ready to hear a lot of videos of me complaining about how much of a piece of junk this thing is. But the good news is I bought it new this time, and I got the best warranty the dealership had to offer. So anything that happens to it, other than just basic maintenance or changing a belt, the dealership will be taken care of, and I'm not going to deal with it. So they promised me they would do that, and I bought it from Seminole Power Sports. They're a pretty reputable dealership. I bought the Wolverine from them too. Very good buying process. Give them a shout out. In and out in less than like an hour. In and out. I didn't even know what I wanted. Just walked around and kind of talked to the guys. It's hard to find a machine for a good deal right now because demand is very high for ATVs, because you can't shut down the mudding. Everything else is shut down because Corona, and production is low because of Corona. So the coronavirus has created a very hot market for ATVs. So could not find a Talon or a YXZ, and ended up with this, and I'll probably hate it. But sometimes you need a fast ATV to go with your extremely slow ATV on portals. So yeah, first impressions driving it around. The four-wheel drive seems to work flawlessly. Oh, there's one other new thing I failed to mention. It's got fly-by-wire now, and it's got TC modes. I think this one just has Eco, Normal, and Sport. Some have a work mode. I don't think you get a work mode on this one. This is an XMR 1000, so it does have the 6x6 tranny, which is stronger, and has the 28% gear reduction. So obviously you want the lowest gears possible in a belt drive, so the 1000 is the only way to go. No, I'm not going to put a stupid 6-inch lift on it again. That was a pain in the butt. The axles were miserable, popping out of the diffs and all that crap. But you know, I'll probably throw different tires on it and stuff like that, and keep it mostly stock. It has that new key, which I'm probably going to lose, so I'm probably going to tether the key to the bumper or something. Yeah, those plastics are put on wrong too. Jeez, you see how that hole looks like that? So I got to put the plastics on properly, but yeah. Anyways, I'm probably going to hate it, but here it is. It's yellow, it's obnoxious. It goes with my obnoxious red truck. I like the yellow. I like that they brought the yellow back. It's old school looking. Wheelbase is very short for the kind of power this thing has. I'm eventually going to be tempted to do like a small, you know, 2 or 3 inch lift, but we'll see what happens.